What's up, Team Tobias? What's up, Cedar Forks? I'm here with, I was about to say with Lane Heyman. I'm here with Ann Rose on
I thought it was
Quelling.
Elma this time or something.
I'm here with Irma on
Irma.
Quelling Your Query Conundrums. Irma, take it away.
I don't know. Should I use like a different voice or something if I'm Irma? I don't know. I can't believe you don't wear my glasses. They're fun.
I'm not saying they're not fun. They just look like half the size of your face.
I love actually wearing sunglasses that are this big. I have a couple pairs of sunglasses that are this big. They are like movie star glasses.
I think that's very a style for women, that women like that. And I don't mean that to sound sexist. I just think it's a very high fashion style.
I'm high fashion. I mean, in my t-shirt.
Hey man, I'm just saying. I think it's very high fashion.
All right, we're going to go with that, and not that I'm trying to cover the bags under my eyes. So for this episode, I have not pre-read this query. I haven't done it. So we're just going to go straight to it, and I will probably pronounce things wrong, especially if there's any sort of fantasy or science fiction involved in this. We're just going to go with it. All right. So this one came with a little bit of a caveat, and we kind of talked about this before the show, which is that it had a little description before they gave us the query. And so we thought we would read that part of it because I think it's kind of an important discussion for us to have at the end, or at least Lane thought we should have this discussion at the end. So
don't blame me.
I'm going to blame you.
Okay.
So, and he's the boss, so he makes the decisions. So we're going to do it. So
True.
It may be a little late, but I thought I'd toss my hat in for this query critique for your podcast. We're a little late now, so sorry. I have a bit of a unique situation in that an agent came to me and offered me a chance to query them with a book that I'd only written 5 chapters of at the time. So I wrote this query letter and sent it to them. The book was just completed a week ago, and if this agent decides to pass on the project, I will be using this query, which I have edited slightly for the podcast, to query to other agents and hopefully find a match. Okay, so that was a caveat that they had given us, and we want to have a discussion about that at the end. But let's get into the query. Dear agent, thank you so much for taking me and my work into consideration. I am so pleased that you enjoyed, I think this might have been another project of theirs. Something, and very excited to introduce you to my new by disaster. Hold on, I'm just trying to make sure I don't want to give anything away and like out this author here. So Kit Davenport in title. A historical-ish young adult adventure comedy packed to the brim with swashbuckling ridiculousness, impulsive decisions, and piping hot tea. Kit Davenport is your average 17-year-old. He's impulsive, headstrong, and a little too sure of himself, and desperate to get out from under his oppressive father's thumb. Oh, he's also heir to a ridiculous fortune, the son of a viscount, and days away from marrying future oh God, I don't know how to say this word. Marchioness. Matroness?
Macaroni?
Catherine Stewart. But Kit doesn't want to marry Catherine and wind up trapped in his father's world of white wigs, dull dinner parties, and arduous meetings in the House of Lords. The day after his rehearsal dinner, a string of dubious choices lands him a position on the crew of Captain Reggie Sharp's galleon, the Deliverance. There's just one problem. Kit has no idea he's joined a pirate crew. What could possibly go wrong? You know, other than him accidentally becoming a pirate, discovering an embezzlement scheme, being framed for murder, finding his face on a wanted poster, and covering a dark family secret that could change the course of his life, plus that of England's. P.S. Kit can't swim. Title is complete at approximately 91,000 words. It is a delightful cast of diverse characters and covers themes of found family, breaking free from generational trauma, and self-discovery. Content warnings include mentions of slave trade, mentions of sexual abuse, and on-page emotional abuse. This particular adventure was inspired by hours of binge watching Our Flag Means Death and my compulsion to watch Treasure Planet on repeat. I was just, again, making sure that we weren't going to accidentally say anything that would say who the author is. And that is the query.
I am full of so many feelings and questions.
Feelings and
mainly,
questions.
mainly about your glasses, but also
Irma's glasses. They're
Irma's glasses. I do like P.S. Kit can't swim. I think that sets the tone perfectly.
It really does.
And it's a little confusing. So the gist I got was Kit doesn't want to get married to a viscount and become a billionaire for some reason. So he runs away and ends up on a ship that turns out to be a pirate ship.
I think you got it. I think that's the book.
And then hijinks happen.
And then shenanigans ensue.
Shenanigans, because his face ends up on a wanted for murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else was just like way over my head. So that's what I got from the query. So if there's more to it, let's go through it. Let's break it down and you explain it to me. But I don't want to weaponize my incompetence because I am actually incompetent.
You are not incompetent. But let's do it. Okay, so thank you so much for taking me and my work into consideration. I am so pleased that you enjoyed something and very excited to introduce you to my new By Disaster, Kit Davenport in title, a historical-ish young adult adventure comedy packed to the brim with swashbuckling ridiculousness, impulsive decisions, and piping hot tea. That's the first paragraph.
What does By Disaster mean?
That's Amanda Dean too. She's just a By Disaster. It's just what they are.
Oh, is that an actual like phrase?
Mm-hmm. If you've ever read the blurb for The Seemingly Impossible Love Life of Amanda Dean, she'll tell you that she is a self-proclaimed By Disaster.
I don't think I read it. I just read the book.
You just read the book. It's fine.
You didn't send me the blurb.
It's only posted everywhere where the book is sold, which is all your major retailers. I'm just kidding.
I didn't buy the book. I read the book.
I know. I understand. But if you ever looked it up.
Yeah. I haven't. I read the book. I don't have to look it up. I just retweet and all that stuff.
Excellent. Okay. Well, it's a bi main character. They consider themselves By Disaster. So.
Like bisexual.
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious. I thought like By Disaster was like a phrase like I had never heard before. So by and a disaster. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, I get it. That makes sense. And I was like By Disaster, like someone is like, oh, I'm going downhill by disaster. And I'm just like, I've never heard that before.
Sweet, naive Lane. Sweet Lane.
Hey man, I'm a boomer. I'm not in the real world. I don't know all your millennial Gen Z big glasses talk. My glasses are small.
Irma knows. So I think that the first paragraph is great. I don't know what if they were pleased that they enjoyed a certain thing. I don't know if you could say that whoever they're sending this to has also enjoyed that, because I don't know what that is off the top of my head. But then again, if I Googled it, maybe I would know. I don't know. So maybe that part didn't quite work for me, but otherwise, I think it's great. I love the historical-ish, because that's something that I would totally do and say. I love swashbuckling, ridiculousness, impulsive decisions, and piping hot tea. I think it all needs to have a British accent on it as well. And I'm here for all of that, and it sounds fantastic.
I'm still stuck on By Disaster. I thought it was like, oh, what happened by disaster? That's awful. There's disaster. Oh man, that's too funny.
Did you like the first paragraph? Did it work for you? Otherwise,
it did work for me. I liked a lot of the tone setting and the piping hot tea. I didn't get because you enjoyed blank. I thought they were tailoring it to you, but it's funny that it was like meant to be personal. It was a generic like, oh, because you enjoyed insert title.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of want to look it up, but I have too many screens going on as is, so we won't do it. But right now, but I will later for sure. Kit Davenport is your average 17-year-old. Average 17-year-old. He's impulsive, headstrong, and a little too sure of himself, and desperate to get out from under his oppressive father's thumb. Oh, he's also heir to a ridiculous fortune, a son of a viscount, and days away from marrying future important person Catherine Stewart. Every time I see that, it just makes me think of Kirsten Stewart. I don't know why.
It feels like a famous name. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm thinking of Kirsten Stewart,
Yeah.
or maybe there's a famous Viscountess.
Maybe. My thoughts on this paragraph is that I'm a little nervous that I'm going to actually like Kit because he seems pretty much like one of those guys. He has everything. He's rich. He is privileged. He is a little too sure of himself, so he's cocky, right? Like, and it's I get, his father's oppressive. Yeah, okay, whatever. You know, I don't. It's just like I'm not sure I'm gonna really love him so much. I'm just a little nervous. I'm not saying I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe he's funny, but I am a little nervous that he's just gonna be like act like one of those guys. So I'm a little nervous, and for me, I don't generally like stories that are YA that deal with marriage because I don't think teens should be getting married.
Yeah, that's gross.
So I mean, I get it that it's historical-ish, and I understand like some of all of that. It's just for me personally, I just don't generally like stories that deal with marriage as a plot point because I don't think that we should have teenagers getting married.
And I guess it really, I mean, because it's historical-ish, I mean, there's a difference between getting married in, I don't know, 12 AD and getting married in 1765.
Yeah.
I think even back then, it was still like, hey, not cool, man. But I mean, in 12 AD, the Dark Ages, people were off their rockers.
I also think that if we're going to take the time to develop a world that isn't historical, right? It's historical-ish. If you're going to create this fantasy world, why are we using standard patriarchal ideals? Why are we following the norm of what would have been happening in that time? I mean, we're getting really off topic here, but and this sounds like a really fun story, but these are just some things to consider. Like when I read a query, that's kind of what I'm thinking of. Is that if it's not truly our history, why are we perpetuating the same terrible things that has happened in our history? We could change them. We could make them better. We could make it a cool place. Like we could try something different, right? So that's all. I guess I'm going to get off my soapbox now.
No, but it's true. I totally get it. It's sort of like in historicals where people use slurs and they say, oh, it's historically accurate. Okay, but that doesn't mean it's cool or you have to use it or I want to read about it.
Right. And I think the flip side of that too is if you're going to do that, you have to have another character call it out. And if you don't have another character that immediately shuts it down, then you are just perpetuating it as normal, regardless of it being historically accurate or not. So if you have to have this character that has to say this slur, then it has to, in my opinion, has to immediately be followed up with, yeah, no, and here's why. Even if it's internal thought but I just need someone to smack it down immediately because it is not okay.
Yeah. Agree.
Okay. Should we keep going?
Yes.
Okay. But Kit doesn't want to marry Catherine. Fair. And wind up trapped in his father's world of white wigs, dull dinner parties, and odious, that's a good word, odious meetings in the House of Lords. The day after his rehearsal dinner, a string of dubious choices lands him in a position on the crew of Captain Reggie Sharp's galleon, the Deliverance. There's just one problem. Kit has no idea he's just joined a pirate crew. I mean, obviously he makes some poor choices in his life and he does some things. I mean, it does set it up. So it's good for setup. I could see. Again, I'm still not 100% sold that I'm going to like this kid, but it still looks funny and I still would probably look at Paige. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, what? Yes?
You missed it when I was playing the world's largest the smallest violin. Yes, when he was like, oh, I don't want to get trapped in my father's wig world with, big money and marrying probably a rich woman for more
have people
money and
cook for
more
me and
land.
clean for me, and oh my gosh, it's gonna be.
Yeah,
It's just so hard. It's hard being the king. Isn't
I
that
know.
in
That's
that movie?
yeah. It's the dream, man. I wish I could marry a viscountess and do nothing and wear wigs all day. That would be great.
I mean, they are itchy.
I don't care if I had to wear a wig and be rich. Yeah, man, cool.
All
I'm
right.
all in.
Yep. There you go. So I again, I kind of feel you. So, all right, let's move on. What could possibly go wrong? Other than him accidentally becoming a pirate, discovering an embezzlement scheme, being framed for murder, finding his face on a wanted poster, and uncovering a dark family secret that could change the course of his entire life. Plus that of England. P.S. Kit can't swim, so he's on a boat, can't swim. That's pretty funny. So it is a complete 90,000 words. Let's swing back. So I guess it kind of does set up stakes. I think maybe they could get a little bit more detailed and specific on like what the stakes is, like how could it change the course of his life and England's? Like I don't quite understand. I didn't even know we were in England, honestly. So
And who's embezzling what? I mean, do pirates embezzle? That doesn't seem like a finance bro thing.
I think they just steal stuff, don't they? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I mean, pirates, they're pirates. They steal. They're not embezzling stuff. I mean, are they secretly running a bank, like doing a Ponzi scheme and loaning money to this person that they borrowed from that person?
So maybe the embezzlement scheme has to do more about the family because it is a dark secret of the family. So
that and the pirates don't mingle. They don't mix together.
But the pirates have figured it out because of some reasons.
But why would pirates care? They're out being pirates, doing piratey stuff.
I don't think it's saying that the pirates care. I think it's saying that he cares.
But pirates don't want to be in England. They purposely got away from England. They were all like in the Caribbean and the Americas.
Listen, not in this story. Okay, it's ish. Ish. They're there.
Well, I need to know how much ish is ish.
Okay. So I do think that we could just clarify the stakes just a touch more so we can really kind of dig into this. But overall, super fun story. 91,000 words sounds about right for something like this. Delightful cast of characters, absolutely. So overall, regardless of everything I just said, I would totally look at the pages. Because it sounds funny and fun and like an adventure and like it could be like a great ride. I don't know, like kind of like the last one we did. Like it just sounds fun, and I really love fun stories. So if this, we don't even know. Maybe this already got picked up by that agent, and it's already sold. So.
And that's something to discuss because this agent was going to offer representation based on 5 chapters of an unfinished book.
True, but and generally speaking, that is probably something that would probably be a red flag. But I think in this case, this author has written other things before, so it's possible.
Do we know that, or are you just guessing?
Okay, that's what I think this thing is that I won't say the name of. I'm going to look it up. How's about that?
How about
I Google what this thing is?
Because they're addressing it to said agent who said you enjoyed blah, 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 blah. Gotcha. That makes sense, Irma. Good thinking.
Irma's smart sometimes.
Apparently.
Okay, bye, and then I'll add in.
Bye, disaster.
Hold on, I have to go find the name of the person that sent this. And see. Oh, they have a website. Maybe I should just go there. Yes. So the thing that I haven't said is actually the title of another book that has already been published. So
gotcha.
So in this situation, this agent probably read that and reached out and said, do you have anything else similar or whatever? So that in that situation, I don't think that would be a red flag. No. But if you are a brand new author who has never written anything and an agent being like, hey, just throw me a couple chapters. We got this. Might want to just make sure that they're legit. That's all. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
So I should have checked on their website if this thing got picked up or not, because I'm curious. Let's see.
Oh, check it out.
Let's see if they. Well, it might just not be announced. I don't know if it has gotten picked up. Excellent. Congratulations. That's amazing. It does sound like a super fun read. That's all I can say about that. Let me see. Oh, I don't know. So, yeah, so I don't know if it has gotten picked up or not, but it sounds super fun and I would look at the pages. Would you look at the pages if you didn't if it was horror?
No, I would actually look at the pages because it sounds fun. It sounds like a what was that movie with Gina Davis? Sugar Time.
I don't know.
It was a swashbuckling pirate movie. It wasn't Treasure Island. Now I have to look it up because I love Gina Davis.
Can't help you, friend. Can't help you. So, but I would probably check out what this other author is writing as well, just because this sounds fun. I bet you their other work is fun. And I would definitely look at the pages. The only piece of advice I have really for this one is just that, just make sure the stakes are just a touch clearer, because I think that will just give this final oomph. But I think that this query works. I think it sounds like a great story. I would, again, for the 10th time, I would read the pages. So I think you're on the right track. And until Lane comes back with whatever he's looking up.
Cutthroat Island with Gina Davis. Look it up. Amazing movie. Shoots a swashbuckling pirate who kicks ass.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen it, but it sounds fun because, you know, I like female lead stories. So
watch it. You would love it.
There you go. So anyway, I'm going to take us out. This is another episode of Quelling Your Query Conundrums with me, Anne Rose, and Lane Haymont. And if you have a query that you are conundruming about, give it to us, and we'll ramble on about it for, a good 20 minutes or so. And hopefully that information will help you in some way.